Bow. We got a special guest today.
Oh yeah.
Bow. Mr. Preach.
Preach.
Bow.
So you guys were talking about sucking your own dick.
That
Here
was
we
a
go.
That was good for
I'm just trying to make
Don't bring
sure.
it back.
I'm just trying to understand where the direction of this whole fitted thoughts is fitting at.
He really wants to try. He really wants to give himself.
I know you guys are called fitted
wow.
thoughts, but
Don't
that's
get him
kind of
started.
crazy.
Wow.
That's kind of
Really,
crazy.
Preach? Really?
I'm good though.
So, so Jay, you had mentioned to me something earlier about you want something that you want to talk about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you two gentlemen:
Mm-hmm.
is money everything, and does money actually bring you guys happiness?
You want to start or?
Like,
Money's not everything, but you also have to realize, like, speaking on, I'm older, obviously. So if you would have asked, let's say, a 21-year-old me, I probably would have been like, hell yeah. Like, hell yeah, money's everything. But as you get older and you start experiencing stuff, you have families, you have kids, you start to realize, like, there's a lot more important things than just money. Now, I think the question is money important as opposed to is money everything? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you ask somebody to live out their dream and they're actually living out their dream, but yet they're making what they would have made at a 9-to-5, they probably would say they're winning, because there are plenty of people in this country who are working at 9-to-5s but not following their dreams. But if you actually were following your dreams and making a little bit less than what you would make in a 9-to-5, I think they would find that satisfying. So to them, money is not everything. Like, they're getting to do what they enjoy. They're getting to live their life they want to live it. They're getting compensated for it. Maybe not to what they would want idealistically, but they still find pleasure in their life, essentially. So I think listen, like I said, we're older. I don't think money is everything, but it does help a lot. Like, look at the lotto. The lotto's like $1.1 billion now.
oh, it's over $1 billion
It's
now?
over $1 billion now. So, somebody who, like, such as myself, I don't usually play lotto. I'm sure as hell trying now. I'm sure as hell gonna put in some numbers, some quick pick or whatever. And to say that, if I won, would I just be like, well, it's just another day? Like, no, I'd be fucking ecstatic. You know what I'm saying? But it's also to say, well, what would you do with that money because there's a lot of horror stories with lottery winners. Like,
Yeah, there's a whole documentary on how they're a millionaire one day and a year later they're broke.
Yeah, and they would probably tell you money's not everything, because they had it and they lost it within a year, because it ends up being like family members. You end up having a whole bunch of cousins you didn't even know you had. Then, like Big said, I don't want to be too cliche, but more money, more problems, which is true. You got the tax man. You got bigger expenses. Like, you want to buy the funny things, people talk about buying the mansion, but they don't consider the electric bill. They don't consider the water bill. They don't consider the actual tax on that mansion. They don't consider the upkeep. Like, with that $1 million home comes $1 million expenses. You know what I'm saying? So it may look nice, it may be dope, but I don't know if it necessarily can buy you happiness or provides happiness. It gives you options, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to do a lot more and give other people a lot more opportunities at the end of the day. But I don't know if you're necessarily happy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be happy for a few days. Don't get me wrong. If I win that Billy, I'm changing my number. I don't know you anymore. Neither one of y'all. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know y'all. I'm definitely gonna pay the half of the taxes. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, but then you also got to think, like, all right, well, I have it all. Then what? You ever thought about that? Like, if you won a lot of money, if you won $1 billion, and let's say $500 million, because it's a tax man, right? What are you gonna do? Because I think I know both of you guys pretty well. Like, you're not sitting at home, right? You're not gonna be just like, well, I'm just gonna chill here in my living room all day.
Not at all. I've had that.
You have to do stuff.
I've had this conversation with several people, and what would you do? What would you do? My first instinct is to help my family,
Even
First
with-
My Children, trust funds for all of them. So this way their life is secure. But I want, and it's something that it's people have been talking about more and more and more and more and more is creating generational wealth.
Of course.
Right? So I want to leave this earth knowing that for generations to come, that we are always going to be okay.
Always going to be good.
Right? Where there's never ever going to be like what I'm doing now, where I have to work all these hours and bust my ass so I can take care of all my kids and do all these things,
Right.
which I have no issues with.
Right.
Right? But it would be nice to know they can go to whatever college, and I
Right.
know that I don't have to bust my ass to put them through that college. You know what I mean? Through that university or wherever they want to go, kind of deal. So I would like to do something to set up so the money keeps on making money.
Yeah, but do you believe in the stresses that it brings? So, for instance, the same trust funds that you develop for your kids. One, okay, so let's say you bring in $500 million. Now you have assets. God forbid you pass away. That's another story that we hear all the time where kids get divided because one kid believes they should do this with the money, other kids they deserve more.
Oh no,
this.
that would all be left. All that.
Yeah, that's
paperwork-
fine. I'm saying
all that paperwork.
no
is
matter
gonna
what
be
the
left
lawyer
behind.
says, like no matter, I had a friend tell me yesterday about how like their parents passed away and their parents had a will and they had everything situated for them, and there were still arguments in terms of, oh, I feel like I should have gotten more, I should have did this, or we should have done that. 'Cause every
things
kid
are-
is
things are going to be divided equally.
right.
Things are going to be divided equally.
No, but all right, you're saying equally. There may be one kid that's like, I'm not as equal as these
Well, that's your
like,
problem because in the
But
will
that
it says,
ends up being their sibling's problem as well. Because then the
well,
siblings
but
are
that's
like,
your problem. That's not anybody else's problem but your own.
Right.
That's just one individual becoming greedy.
Right.
Because they see all this money.
Do you have a specific? And this goes to you. Do you have a specific amount in your head that you would say like, if I have this in my account, I'm good?
Good for life.
Yeah.
It would probably be like 5 billion.
5 billion.
5 what?
5 billion.
5 billion.
If I have 5 billion,
You
in my
wouldn't. So
account,
if you had 500 million, you wouldn't feel good
no, I wouldn't feel good.
because you think you would blow it.
You're bugging.
I'll be happy. I know I could do. I would be
But you
able
wouldn't
to do
feel.
a lot.
You wouldn't feel like, all right, my
This-
family line isn't
You
good.
said
Jennifer.
5
No,
billion?
for me, I would feel good. But like you guys said, family, kids, and
It's 500 million, son.
Yeah.
You have no idea how
I know
much that
inflation
must-
and gas is high and stuff, but Jesus
and I
Christ.
want to leave this whole legacy behind and have everyone
You think
set.
you will not be able to do that with $500
$500 million. Fuck that. You wouldn't think. You don't think you'd be able to do that with 20 million?
I think it will blow quickly. But I think by the time I'm an old guy, those
Well, so what would you spend? Because if you think you're blowing
That's crazy.
I don't know if you could spend that much in a day. Like
Yeah, you
because
can.
I'm thinking
you
about
could spend five. You think you could spend $500 million?
I'm thinking
in one
about
day?
myself.
That's crazy.
You know
and
how?
I'm
You're
thinking
buying
about-
an NFL team that day?
No, you're buying,
I'm
you're
thinking
buying
about-
something that's worth $500 million.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But something like that, you still wouldn't even be able to do that. Like that's crazy to think that you. Okay, so you're in your mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
You think if you won $500 million tomorrow, you think by 60 it's gone?
Nah.
By what? By what age?
If I get to live maybe 80.
My G, all you got to do is put $100 million in the S&P and you're good for life. And you could splurge on the other $400 million.
My man, you could put $500 million inside of a bank and live off the interest for the rest of your life.
I wouldn't do it in the bank.
I'm saying though,
I know what you're saying,
but that's
I
a
still- I
reality
still
though.
wouldn't do that shit.
Because if you take $500 million to a bank, they're giving you their interest rate is going to be
They
higher.
will blow you in the lobby.
You
will blow
know,
you.
so imagine getting out of that 500 million, getting let's say, for argument's sake, let's say getting 5% of 500 million. What's 5% of 500 million?
A lot.
It's
25,
millions of
20,
dollars.
Right.
Yes.
millions of dollars.
See, he's the type of he's going to Colombia buying all the coke.
I'm not only thinking
Doing the
about
Tony
myself.
Montana.
He's wild.
And my immediate, not for real. I'm not only thinking about myself
Yo,
and my
push
immediate
it to the
family.
limit is gonna be playing in his head. Push it to the limit.
For real. I'm even thinking about you guys.
He's buying a tiger. He's buying a tiger.
You're gonna have your own thing. You're gonna have your own
but
thing.
you know what's what? And I'm sorry to interrupt, but you know one of the things that kill billionaires or kill wealthy people, and when I say kill, I don't mean physically kill. I mean in terms of like reduces their wealth greatly.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage. Marriage will cut your wealth.
Shit, man.
In
About to
half.
break up with my girl. Right?
Yo, because okay, let's pose this question. You have a girl right now.
Yeah.
You won $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
That girl's acting a little bit different now.
Yeah.
You-
I'm
you-
gonna help. I gotta help her family, her extended family, her
bugging.
extended family.
You're,
you know
but
what
I
I'm
don't know
saying?
you, miss. I'm sorry. I just,
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that it's okay to do that within reason. It's okay to do that
Nah, bro.
because you're not spending a lot of money. You get $500 million. With $10 million out of the $500 million, your whole family's good.
That's what you think.
For how long?
That's what I'm saying. That's what you
No,
think.
that's all you're getting. I'm capping everybody. Everybody gets capped.
But you think that's like they're gonna come back.
Everybody gets capped.
And then
everybody
problems-
gets capped.
and
Don't come
problems
back
always
because
arise.
everybody gets
More
capped.
money, more
ensue.
problems.
That's what I just, yeah. That's what I'm
But
saying.
you know, like, and I'm talking about like
Because they're
my
fu-
immediate family, my sisters, my mom.
That's what I'm saying.
My kids.
Here's one thing you're not considering. So you're saying you would give somebody $5 million, right?
Huh?
You saying you to help out a family member, you would cap them at $5 million. You said, right?
Not each one.
All right. Well,
Not
Just
each one.
because
his
you got to
immediate
remember.
family.
So if you give that person $5 million, right? Once again, their $5 million becomes
250.
no. I'm talking about in terms of their expenses get higher. Is what I'm saying. So $5 million for them is just a lump sum of money that they like. I would believe they would splurge and lose it. You know what I'm saying?
Or what I would do is I would give everybody allowances.
I still wouldn't even because then that could be turned as well, you think you own us now. You think you're, you know what I'm saying? You see what
so
I'm saying?
well, then I
Ego.
turn-
See,
then
here's
I
the thing.
turn around
Here's
and
the
go-
question you should have asked. How important is money, and how does ego affect that? Because ego really fucks people up, especially when they have money. Because not only do you have money, but now you feel empowered, and now you feel like you're better than certain people. Not every rich person. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's certain people with certain egos where they walk around if they have 50 million in their bank account that they feel like they can talk, or they just feel entitled and they could say things to certain people, and you're just being a shitty person now. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whereas like, you know, they always say like the person who owns this corporate building talks to the vice president the same way he talks to the janitor. There's some truth to that, because they understand, like, we've seen it. People have lost money like that. Because with, like I said, $50 million, you get maybe $5 million lawsuits. And lawyers ain't cheap. And guess what? You're going to have to settle. And then, guess what? I got to pay for this now.
Yeah, but
this
that's-
business
but that's
opportunity
the
didn't
thing,
happen.
though.
Like,
I would disappear. Not from my family, but I would disappear.
he dyed his hair blonde.
And imagine me with blonde hair. I think that'd be dope.
Change his name to Tito. He'd be like,
No,
"Wow."
it would be more like Pepe.
Pepe. Yeah, Pepe. I like Pepe. I
Like
like
Pepe.
Pepe.
Pepe. Just call me Pepe.
Pepe's
now.
in the Bahamas, like selling surfboards and shit.
Churros.
You know what I mean? Churros. Yo, he's eating all the supply. Like,
Churros
I don't
and
know.
canepas and shit.
No, but
the
you know,
bag.
it's a dangerous thing, man. A lot of money is a dangerous thing. Not saying I wouldn't want it, but
You will get a lot more fans. You will get people. You will get people in your life
that you didn't know trusted.
that you know what I'm saying. I there's people in my life that I know that if I got a lot of money, they wouldn't change. They wouldn't change, and that I would almost have to force money in their hand.
And those, I mean, if
You know
those
what I
people
mean?
you would, and you would, I think those people you don't even tell them. You just put it in their account, or you take care of their bills, and you just be like, "Yo, you got nothing to worry about. Don't worry about how much money you just got. You good. Go play dominoes. Go play. I mean, or go do your thing, and they're not gonna come back for you for money. Those people you can like allowance. I wouldn't say allowance, but you take care of their bills moving forward. Because I would rather do that for people and say, "Yo, you know what? I'll take care of this bill for you. Like, you know, you don't have to get the base package anymore. You could get, you know what I mean, like DirecTV with everything. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel comfortable in giving people a large amount of money and then saying, don't come back because I know you're going to come back. You're going to blow it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, but what do you do? What do you do? Because it sometimes, like you see all these stories, and sometimes it is those individuals who you think are not going to come back are the ones that come back.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Back.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I know everybody in my family, in my immediate family and stuff, they won't even ask. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm just concerned for him, to be honest with you. I'm more concerned with him. Because this dude's talking about paying for his family
Yeah.
and his girl's family.
And our
And-
extended family.
That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Because
See, what I would like to do is I would like to
Helping
open
the
up a business
community.
and
You
then
know
bring
what I'm
all the
saying?
family in and make it a family business.
I wouldn't even want to do that.
And I know stuff like that is tough.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
wouldn't
like,
even do
all
that.
right, well, now we have this great business. Let's run it. You know what I mean?
wouldn't even,
It's our business kind of deal.
I wouldn't even do that.
I would like to do something like that. And I know all those things are difficult. You know, money brings the most ugliest things out of people.
100%.
You know what I mean?
It's scary, too. It's scary. Because
Doesn't make you happy though.
Doesn't make you happy. Money makes me happy when I'm able to do stuff for my family. That's how money. That's what I get out of making money.
But, like, so let me ask you a question.
The enjoyment. I enjoy being able to do stuff for my family, being able to provide for my family.
Right.
You know what I mean? All those things.
But you could do that now, though.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the money. It's just doing stuff for your family, right?
Yeah.
So
but having the means to be able to do it.
Yeah, well,
Because no job means no money, which means
We can't
I'm
do
not doing
nothing.
it. I can't do nothing.
right. But you have a
You
job
know?
and you make money and
Yeah.
you're able to do stuff for your family. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, you can go to Disney with your family, right? You could, right? If you have a lot of money, you can pretty much rent out Disney. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's still the same. It's a level up, but you're still doing something for your family.
Yeah,
I know what
yeah.
you mean. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing because it's like there's something to understanding the struggle of making it or the struggle of certain things. Because when you start raising it, I think that's probably really what's wrong with this generation is that, you know, we went through being disciplined in a certain way. And now these kids they don't really understand that, or they're calling ACS, or they're like, yo, no, Twitter says you're not allowed to do that to me.
Yeah, but at the rate that these kids are making money today, it's nowhere how it was before.
No, it's
like
not.
you get all these young rappers out here who becoming millionaires overnight.
They like to let you think that, but
Well,
after 5 years, then they're like, yo, my label jerked me and I owe them mad money, and it's like, yeah, bro. Well,
yeah, but I was watching.
they got smart enough to start hiring lawyers. That's what happened.
I was watching this thing with where the guys who were sitting uptown in the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, we don't talk about that show.
no,
Yeah, I can't. No, can't
No?
talk about that show. I know what show you're talking about. I can't talk about that.
but
show.
I don't think it's that one though.
I think it's the only one that's based in the barbershop. There's a podcast you're talking about?
Yeah, but there's another one that's based in the barbershop.
Oh,
We can't talk about it either way.
Anyway, so
Yeah, guys.
in the
Talk
show,
about money.
they were talking about. In that show, we were talking about. They were talking about on how because they had a legend, right, in hip hop, and Kane was on the show.
who?
Kane.
Okay. So yeah, it's the same show. Yeah. It's the same
Okay. So Kane was on the show, and they were talking about, do you have any resentments because he didn't make all that. He makes money,
show. Right.
He's still making money because of his shows, but he didn't come out the box making all the money like these kids are making now.
Right.
They're making it at a faster rate,
Well,
at a way faster rate. So due to the fact that they're making that at such a rate, they're not able to appreciate it, right? And they blow it a lot faster,
right.
than. Well, and it's not true too, because we had artists that blew all their money too.
Yeah, 100%.
And that was after years. But so when you look at these kids who are making all this money and they just don't have the discipline that we grew up with, and the understanding that if you make money, you should do things with it. You should invest. You should save money.
Right.
You should, not just go out there and buy the $100,000 chain and the $50,000 ring and the.
But to go back to what he said, and you're basically asking
$500,000
about happiness. Look how many of these rappers are making that money and they're miserable. They taking pills. They're going on these platforms and committing suicide or overdosing or getting strung out on drugs. Yeah, they got all this money, but their access to some of the substances that they do have, it makes shit worse, and they're not happy. That's the jux of what you're asking.
Maybe the money does make them happy. What makes them miserable is the fame.
Well, it goes hand in hand though. You understand what I'm saying? Look, there's broke rap. I don't even want to call them broke, but there are rappers out there who make a decent living, who are happy. They don't need to fly private. They don't need to drive in a Rolls Royce. They sell their 10 to 20,000 units independently, and they go home. They have a nice house, regular life, go touring, and they're content with that. But there's guys who make 6 figures a show, and they have everybody's at their pocket. It's like, yo, put me on. Yo, I could rap. Yo, especially now because it's so accessible to people now. Everybody can rap. Everybody on earth want to rap. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feels like they're talented to a certain degree. And there's so many people in their faces let me borrow this. I got a great business idea. Yo, I want to open up a liquor brand. All types of dumb shit you just hear. And it's yo, bro, that's part of happiness too. It's everybody constantly calling you or constantly asking for certain shit. You build a certain resentment and you're like, yo, do you guys only see me as an ATM or do you see me as the man that we was in the hood together and I made it? What was it originally? They're not happy. You know what I'm saying? They're happy when they get the check, but then it's I gotta blow it. Oh, and then mind you, a lot of those kids that you mentioned earlier, those rappers that you mentioned earlier, they don't pay their taxes. They don't pay their taxes because you get it so much. You're damn, I gotta give half of 100. That's only 50. That chain is 80 though. All right, I'll pay the tax man later. And they don't understand penalties and interest get put on top of that shit. And then they get a tax bill. And the IRS, they say this all the time. The IRS don't come for you tomorrow. They wait. They chill and then they come try to get you 5 years, 6 years after the fact. So, and then they're not happy. So to answer your question, I don't know if money necessarily makes you happy. It gives you options to possibly make you satisfied. But happiness, I don't know if you can equate money with happiness.
But when you go back to what Breach said is, you got plenty of millionaires and billionaires who are miserable.
Yeah, 100%.
Miserable.
100%. There are some people that have made millions that say, yo, I wish I could just go back to when I was all right. You know what I'm saying? I was good. There's plenty of those people as well. But, $1 million is a lot of money though. Fuck that. $200,000 is a lot of money to certain people. If you do the math.
Oh, yeah. If you get it at once.
Not even at once. If you let's say you get a job with a salary of 200,000, certain people are content with that and they're happy with that. A guy who makes 20 million would probably vomit on himself if they said, yo, we're reducing your shit to 200,000. You know, especially around in this neighborhood, like you see it. I think that's one of the things that really caught my attention when we moved out here was that like the way they move is totally like it's crazy. They spend money like it's nothing. Like, you know, it's a friend of mine was telling me a guy was supposed to who makes his base salary is 20 million. He was supposed to make a $10 million bonus. And his company gave him only a $3 million bonus.
And he was pissed.
And he was pissed. He sued.
Wow.
He was pissed. And he won. I look at it like, my G, I already have 20 million. And you're telling me I'm supposed to make a $10 million bonus. I only make 5. I don't know if I would be, and maybe that's a fucked up way to think. A lot of businessmen would look at me or listen to me and say, that's why he's an idiot. They would say that. They'd be like, no, you're supposed to make as much money as possible. Once again, I don't know if that 7 million that he missed out on, was that his happiness that he missed out on, or what was that?
Oh, it's greed.
But
then you're talking about you can't compare yourself to any of those individuals. I cannot compare myself to a Musk. I can't compare myself to any of those individuals because my day-to-day is completely different to their day-to-day. When I open up my bank account, it's completely different to what they open. What I purchase in a day is completely different to what those guys purchase in a day.
Right.
So, one would say, oh, but you're just two human beings. No, we're not. Because we live on 2 different wavelengths.
I would disagree just because, like, we all take shits.
Nah, I'm talking about
Elon takes special shits.
No, but see, nah. Yes, we all breathe.
We're both on the same. Me and Elon Musk on the same plane that crashes. We both dead.
Yes.
So,
but when it comes to our bank accounts and how we move, completely different.
No, of course, 100%. If y'all both,
that's what I'm talking
if y'all
about.
both moving in the same space, he has a problem. Why are you at South Olsen Park right now? Like, you should be. Like, why are you here right now? You're right.
And that's the reason why that's the reason why we blow our money.
Why?
Because we make money and we want to go to, and we're moving on up. Right? Instead of maybe upgrading where we're at, we want to get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, I think
to a certain point.
I think you're talking in terms of like going from, let's say, regular like Ozone Park or South Ozone Park, and now you're moving to Madison Ave. I think that's extreme because, like I said, you went from paying maybe $1,800 in rent to now having a mortgage that's worth $25 million in a Park Avenue condo. That's different. That's a very huge jump, and that's not you. I feel like you have to ease your way into that.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's what a lot of people do. They buy the mansion, like we said. They buy the mansion, and hence the reason why
electricity, everything you mentioned.
And then they're going, oh, well, we got to sell the mansion now.
500 mil will go by fast, man. Sooner than you think with all those expenses.
500 billion will not go fast.
No, 500 million.
That would not go fast, bro.
You don't think so?
500
million.
No, never.
Will not. If you, I mean, my God, are you buying a pet giraffe, my G?
You know how even if you spent $1 million on a house, you have $499 million
left.
Now, your biggest expenditures are going to be
cocaine,
a house.
I already know this. I already
a house, the cars that you buy for yourself and your wife.
Remember, you can only drive one car at a time. So
right?
buy a car for yourself.
Insurance.
See, here's the problem. He's gonna have to buy a car for
insurance.
He's gonna
life insurance.
The life insurance you get could actually pay you though.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be so much stuff.
No,
right now, 500 mil is a lot.
You gotta remember,
and it will last me, maybe myself, forever, a lifetime. But when I'm thinking about everything else and everyone else, I don't.
My man, once again,
I think if
you drop that in
and then let's say I'm not.
If you drop that in the market, right? Smart. You turn that $500
Yeah.
500
No, that's what I was
million
gonna say.
into so much more money.
man.
But even if
Let's say I
even
wasn't
that,
generating any
even if in a
income.
downturn, bro, like if you just put your money in the S&P and you just let it sit for years upon years upon years, you're gonna be fine. The interest based off the S&P average is about an 8% return, so you're gonna be fine. The fact that I think the issue with you is like you're buying your family. I don't know how many people are in your family. And you're also buying your girl's family each cars, each G wagons. Then you're gonna have to pay the insurances on that because they're not paying the car note, right? You gotta pay the taxes on each one of them. Then you gotta pay for their houses because you said you gotta take care of them too. You know what? He really might go through 500 million in 22 years,
The
3
way
years.
I'm
yeah,
thinking,
but who the fuck does that?
not 3 years.
Him.
My life, maybe
Not me.
until I'm 80.
not doing that.
I don't know,
I'm buying
bro.
my sister houses.
I'm generous.
I'm buying my sister's houses.
yo.
I'm buying my mom. I'm buying my sister's houses where my mom has her own spot. I'm buying a house so my mom has her own spot. So wherever she's at, she'll always have her own spot.
I don't know, man.
And then my kids, trust funds, right? And I put my money to work. I will not work not one day
Well, of course,
in
you
anybody
wanna
else.
generate
When you
that
say
office.
trust funds for the kids, though, are you still having them work?
Oh no, most definitely.
Or is it something where it's like, oh, you don't have to go to college? Because I don't believe in college. So I don't think I would, if I won that amount of money, even now, I wouldn't think I need to put my kids to college unless
I want my kids to go to
yet.
college.
unless they have a specific field that they want to.
No, I want my kids to
They
go
gotta
to
learn the
college,
struggle.
and I also want them to go
Why?
away to
What do you think
college.
is the benefits of of college? Maybe this is a different episode.
For
like,
me,
this is a different
for me,
conversation, but
the
yeah.
benefits of college is to teach them how to be adults, to grow up.
You can do. Wait,
Nah,
Going
not living
away.
home.
that's
living
not. That's
home,
not
you
true.
don't-
That's not
Going away.
true.
I
disagree.
living
wholeheartedly.
home.
Because if you go to college and you still live,
Yeah, there's
then
a
that's
lot of
pointless.
bozos that went to college. Like
but
I don't.
But
agree
if you
with
go
that.
away, you live on campus. I feel every kid, every
I don't
person
even
should
think,
do that.
Yeah,
I don't even think I agree with that because when you get
yeah,
those kids
go
away,
to college.
they don't learn how to be adults. Like some of them are responsible, fair enough. A lot of them end up like, yo, they discover like, oh shit, nobody's saying, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up.
That's
We gotta do
good.
shit.
And then they figure it out and they learn there.
Or they
Like,
lose, or they blow everything, and they're like, I gotta come back home. It's like I failed out. I don't know if college. No, I don't think college.
But I don't think
grows
them
you up.
staying at home,
No, I'm not telling you to stay at home either.
and I
just
don't
feel
think
like
staying
you need a
them staying
path,
home.
You need a plan.
a plan. Yes, you need
Yeah,
something like.
what's the plan?
And a good written plan with like
I would
plan
tell
A,
it-
plan B, and plan C type shit.
Yeah, 100%. Like you don't have like listen, my kids could say I want to go to college. I'll be like, okay, great. What do you want to do in college? They'll be like, well, I kind of want to discover what I want to do. Okay, fine. But if there's a field that, let's say the media field, I don't believe you need to go to college to be in the media field at all. 100%. I went to college for the media shit, and it did me nothing, to be quite honest with you. Swear to God, it did me nothing. I had better luck interning and then interning at certain companies and learning certain things hands on. And
But you got those interns because you went to college.
no, I did not. I got those internships because I worked at a job. I started a conversation with a guy at a dog park, and he told me, I work here. I own this thing. I said, if you guys have any interns spots available. He was like, yeah, come by this day. Had nothing to do with college. He was like, yo, just come by. And then he didn't ask my age. He didn't ask if I had a degree. He didn't ask none of that. A lot of these places couldn't work like that. You don't necessarily have to be in college or even, I'm not saying not go to high school. Yes, go to high school. But I think college is way overrated. And I think with the pandemic, we learned that a whole lot this past few years. But sorry, colleges. I'm going to probably get killed tomorrow. So bye, guys. It was great knowing you guys. But yeah, so this was great, though. I should do this more. This is nice.
He goes, this is nice.
This is nice.
So money's not everything, and it doesn't bring
Money's
happiness.
definitely not everything.
No, not
Money-
at all.
Well,
not
it brings me
everything.
happiness. It's not the only thing that makes me
It's about
happy.
to bring a whole lot of
But
people
it
happy
brings
because
me
you about to take care of a whole lot of people. I'll tell you that much.
I would.
I don't know, man.
I mean, to be honest, I think 1 million would be fine if I'm generating that same income.
Quick question: how long you been with your girl?
3 years.
And you would, yeah, man. That's right.
Yeah, that's love, man. That's what
That
love
is. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Like you're giving money.
Love is love.
She's gonna hate me after this.
Fuck that black ass nigga. I can't stand him. Fuck him. Let's go to the bank.
He's lucky though because he has a good girl.
No. I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying
I have a great
maybe
girl.
this is another topic for another episode. Do you see the same way you see money? Does it equate happiness? Do you see marriage as a business? Because marriage
Absolutely.
is a business. Don't
Being in a
forget that.
relationship, having a partner, you have to look at
No,
it
that's
as a business.
yes.
At that point. Yeah, I
Marriage
agree 100%.
Marriage is a
Yes.
business. Don't get it fucked up. It is a business.
I agree.
Hundo.
And I'm gonna end up fighting tonight. No,
You were getting none. You were getting absolutely none.
I'm gonna
tonight.
have to perform oral on myself today.
Oh no!
Yo,
Yo,
thanks
this
for
is
coming
dope.
out.
Thank you, man. This was nice. This was
Appreciate
dope.
it.
Yeah, thank you for
Right.
joining the conversation.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. This was dope. I should do this more, like I said. This is nice.
And we'll see you guys next time for the thoughts.
Peace.
Peace.